Good afternoon and welcome back to the Week Editorial with me at TV. As you all know, this is a show which is posted every Sunday, and then today we have this special event that we cover our previous week. If you are following us, maybe you see our videos there. And then this week, that show is from the school of KRUBALLY Basic School. If you watch the video, you will see how students display their talent. These people are very young, so today I decided to come to the school and interact with them and see how was the event with them and how prepared were they during the events or prior to the events. I'm here with some delegates which I would allow to introduce themselves. So we will start with you, madam. You can tell us your name.
My name is YAHYA.
Okay. Yes, okay.
My name is KRUBALLY from KRUBALLY School.
Okay, my name is KRUBALLY, a teacher at the school.
Hello viewers, my name is YAHYA, a student from KRUBALLY School.
Okay, Aminata, we will start with you. Were you among the people who participated during the event?
Yeah, I was.
So you can tell us how was it? Which tribe did you represent?
I represent Fula as my tribe, and then it was very important because I would say by then I do not know much about my culture, but because of the cultural show and how I see we all come together, interact, then I could know a bit about it. And even all the cultures, we see how they do their things, the way they dress, the way they talk, we could get everything. And then I could say Alhamdulillah because the cultural show was very interesting because it has taught us many lessons. Like for example, some of us were practicing tribalism, but after the cultural show, we could interact, talk about our cultures. Some will come and say, oh, Aminata, I saw that the Fulas, they did this. Yes, this is the reason why they did this is because of this, and then the reason why they did that. So yeah, the cultural has really helped.
So coming to your to your show, the Fula tribe, who was those brides?
I was the bride.
You were the bride?
Yeah.
So you can tell us how were you feeling during the day?
Well, I was amazed, surprised. Well, I could say I am a bride, so which means even in future, if I'm ready with everything and I want to be, and I'm coming to get married, then I'll be like that again. Well, it was fun.
So it's like you have already seen an example of being a bride.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming to you, sir, you can tell us about the event?
Okay, first of all, I would like to thank you people for covering up the program on that day. I was here and I was very, very amazed. Why I was amazed is because I was surprised with the students, the way they were acting, the way they showcased their culture in terms of dancing, in terms of narrating how their marriage ceremony goes. It was very, very amazing. I was very surprised. I was shocked to see such talent within our students. So I was very, very surprised, to be candid.
So what will be your advice to the junior students and the upper students also?
Well, my advice is very simple. Keep up the momentum. They are doing very well. And then they need to know their culture and they need to know their tradition. Why? Because what happened at the end of the day, these are the leaders tomorrow. And if they don't know their culture, when they are old, they will find it very difficult. And then when they know their culture, they know where they belong to and where they are coming from. So it's very important for the young ones to know what their culture is all about. So it's very important because if you know your culture, then you will know really who you are and where do you belong to. So it was a very wonderful and very amazing program and was a very wonderful performance by the students. I was so amazed with whatever they have done here.
Who was behind this idea of bringing this thing, bringing the students and then for them to showcase their talent?
Okay, it was an idea which was brought up by the SAS club. We have a club called the SAS club, and I can say it is one of the most active club in the school here, because every now and then they are always engaged with their members. Not long ago, even before the cultural show, they were engaged in cleansing exercise. Though they endeavor to clean the school environment, And then they were very pleased. And suddenly they came up with this cultural festival, I can say, or cultural program, where they allow students to showcase their talent based on their culture. It was all about the SES club together with the members, especially Mr. Kuyate, Lamin Kuyate, who is the coordinator of the club. They did very well, and they were the one behind the success of the program.
Coming back to you, madam. So you can tell us which grade are you, and then how were you feeling during the event?
I'm in grade 8A, and I was with much cause I don't know nothing about my culture because of this culture. So I
Which culture do you belong to?
Fula.
How come you belong to the Fula community culture? You don't know much about it.
Yeah, because you know, if you are not with your elder brothers when they are getting married in Fula, you don't know not much about it. But because of this culture, we were interacting, discussing during our rehearsal, so I was able to capture many things about my culture.
So you people are not being fair here. Where are the Mandinkas? Where are the Wolof? Where are the Jolas? They all participated during this. I'm just giving you a fullest.
Yeah.
So what amused you much about it? In fact, who took first during this event?
It was the Wolofs who took first. The Wolofs, they took first. Yes, followed by the Jolas. And followed by the Mandinkas. So we the Fulas, we took fourth. And they said there is no loser.
So
They say there's no loser on that day, is what they say. But according to me, on that day I have learned many things. Because
you can tell us what you have learned.
I learned how we used to dress our bridegroom, how we used to, and how they used, before coming out, when they are taking you to your mom, how you should dress, and how you should, there is somebody also who should take you in your head and you should cover your face and do this thing. We have a sawmill to give the bride, yes, and to give the bride and the bridegroom, yes, on that, and we how to wear our culture, how to make the bride beautiful. All that I was not aware of it, and I see I am a Fula, but on that day I have so many things and learn many things on it on that day.
So viewers, I can say you see how special the event was. They're here. They don't know much about their culture, so that events make them to know a lot about it. So coming back to you, I think you might know about the judges because they were not being fullers. They are not being fair there. These fullers they are there and then they display well. So all these luxury because what people there and then they happen to give the wall of this thing first. You can go on, sir.
Yeah, well, the judges, for me, they were fair because they judge based on the performance of the participants. And then at the end of the day, they realized that from their own perspective, the Wolofs did better than all the other tribes. So that is why they were given the upper hand, followed by the other tribe, which is the Jola. For me, everything was fair. Yeah.
So you can go on because the Wolof took first. So we have to celebrate.
Well, I cannot say.
What makes them unique? Which of their performance make them very unique for them to the judges to consider them like being first of the event?
Because they are dancing.
The way they dance?
Yeah, the way they were dancing. Some in local language, how they say it, Dango Humbalon. Yeah, that's what they did so. But to me, like, even though we can say that the Fullers took forth, but to me, like, everything I took first and everything was nice because I have learned so many things and I could at least have the experience of being a bride, so I was very amazed.
So you're ready for a bride. You're ready to be a bride now. So coming back to the pageant and the Queen's competition, you can tell us a lot about it?
I was participating in the beauty pageant.
Really?
Yeah.
Which position do you took?
That one they did not award it. They did not say who is the winner because it was too late. Also because it was getting dark. They just make us.
So who was the guy you were dancing with? Who was that guy?
Mohamed Nyang. Mohamed Nyang. He went home. He's not here.
So any relationship between you and him?
No.
For how long have you been participating in this?
I can say this is my first time participating in this. Yeah, because me, to stand in a crowd is my problem. Even this thing, they force me to stand here, but I'm not used to it. That's way.
So how comes you go on and this dancing with that guy Mohamed Nyang in front of this public and you say you're not used to this?
I'm not used to it. Just that they asked me, it is my cause. I am the secretary of the club. I should not be there saying that yes, the people will participate this and that, and I will not take part. So I tell them, okay then, as far as Mr. Kari said, I should take part in the beauty pageantry. So I go home, started rehearsing, practicing how to stand approach on the stage. And this one also, because he's used to it, I usually ask her to help me more about it, how to stand in and to read out the teacher biography. The teacher that I choose, it was Miss Jallo, and how to do it. Just like, yes, because I wasn't on it. I just danced.
And then, yeah, sir, you can tell us about this, the people who were reciting this poet.
Well, that one also, it was amazing. Even when I was sitting watching them, I was sitting with Mr. Cham, and then I was not able to control my emotion, and I let it out to Mr. Cham. I told Mr. Cham that I was very, very surprised that this school, we have a lot of talents. Any aspect of life you go to, I can say we are blessed with that particular individual in our school. She is one of the participants who was reading a poem together with one boy called Momodu Seydou Jallo, but their poems were amazing and it was very, very touching. If you look at the poems they were reading, for example, Momodu S. Jallo was reading a poem about death. Whether we like it or not, there will become a day we will all go. Whether we like it or not, we will die. And when we die, we will be resurrected, and then God will judge us and ask us what we are doing, and so on and so forth. So if you come to her also, her poem was very interesting and was very educative. So I was amazed with everything, the organizing, the way they showcase whatever they want to showcase. I was very amazed, to be candid. Yeah.
Maybe we can go back to you again, because your poem was so interesting and exciting. So educating us what the teacher described it. Maybe if you wouldn't mind to recite it for us here, just go on.
Okay.
We want to know a few parts of the poem.
Okay, the poem is entitled The Meaning of Life, and the poem reads, what are we doing here and where are we gonna go? It's like we just woke up one morning and then it's welcome to the show. Don't ask any questions, just go with the flow. Make as much money as you can and try your best not to get broke. Copy everything you see on the TV, from the hairstyles to the clothes, and don't think too often, just do exactly as you are told. And if you ever get confused, then just turn towards the alcohol. You still hear thoughts, then just turn up the radio as you learn to live a lifestyle of drug, sex, and rock and roll. But in all honesty, I just really need to know, is there more to the cycle than growing and getting old? Living and dying just to leave behind a happy home and a whole lot of property that somebody else is going to own. I just really need to know before the casket's closed, because I'm not willing to gamble with my soul, nor am I ready to take any chances. This is just simple life questions, and I'm just searching for some answers. Like, what are we doing here? And what is our purpose? How did we get here, and who made us so perfect? And what happens once we go, or is this world all really worth it?
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I've never
What a wonderful poem.
for so long. I'm good. So, coming back to you, sir, Ma, you're smiling. So, how was it feel? What advice do you have for your juniors or for your seniors?
For me, what I have advice for them is to encourage more and to learn something from it, because on that day people like me too, I was learning something from there, because I was not in my culture that I was just there title full of people I don't know nothing about it, but I learned more from it. So what I will try to, it's not much, but let them encourage themselves to live this lifestyle, not to follow only this lifestyle, but to follow our culture and to know something from it.
Actually, culture is very important. And then people are just following these Western cultures and they're living our own tradition culture. That's not good. So we Africans have to embrace our culture, and then we move on than following this Western culture. Yes, back to you, sir. I have seen this. It takes you spend a lot financially, physically, emotionally. So you can tell us the challenges that you have faced during the event.
Yeah, well, as you made mention, we have faced a lot of difficulties, but with the willingness and the readiness of the coordinator and its members, they were able to tackle all those challenges and difficulties. So in terms of finance, it was a problem because we know that schools, what they are given is not enough to run all their activities. So financially, they face a lot of difficulties. But with Allah's help and the commitment of the students, they were able to get the money they needed to sponsor or to run the program. Sometimes they normally go out for what we call Bobby job, where they gather money and then gather that money and then invest it in the program. Sometimes also members, they contribute, that's what we call membership fee, and they also get that money and then put it there and then gather everything.
That are members of the SES?
Yes, members of the SES club. SES club, they have members, and if you want to be a member, there is a fee attached to it, and these are the monies they will collect and then put it in the account of the club, so that any program they have, they will be able to run that particular program.
And so, then coming back also to your participant also, like those tribes, they have spent a lot. The food, the fooding and the clothing, all those stuff, they have spent a lot. How did they have those money? Where did they get it?
Well, as I told you earlier on, commitment was the force behind all these things, because they were all committed and they were willing to do it. So for them, they sit together as a tribe and then discuss the way they want to run their program and the way they want to finance their program. So they contribute each other, they contribute money, members of that tribe contribute the money, anybody who wants to participate, and then anybody who is willing to help. So that is the money they gather and then do whatever they want to do, cook their traditional food, buy their traditional dresses, and so on and so forth. That was the money, that was the way they get their money to finance their program.
You can tell us what did you tell them until say give you the money to raise all those things?
Well, at first when we heard about the cultural show, and then we heard that we will have the cultural display, then we the Fullers sit as a group, sit as a team as one, started discussing about, because we have in ourselves people who know much about the culture. They started talking, and then but then they say that we need money, because like I can say the tradition, the umbrella, there is money on the bride's head, money, and even yeah, so we sit and discuss, and then we came out that every member should pay $20. So we agreed to it, but even though some of the things, we went home, talked to our parents, and they support us, because I can say mostly the thing that the bride was wearing, we went home, talked to grandmothers, and then they started telling us more about culture, asking them questions. Then they start telling us that we need this, especially the calabash, and even how to do all that stuff before your bride come in, how to do your things, they told us. So after contributing the money, we went and sit down, we started preparing everything.
How about the cooking utensils? Where do you get it from?
Well, that one is from home, so we told mom about it, so she said it was not a problem. Then we prepared it and put it in a calabash. And we brought it.
That's so exciting, but I'm not that much happy here because I'm just interacting with the Fula tribe here. No Mandinka, no Jola, no Wolof. So the Wolof took first during the event and they are not here. So coming back, we are at the end of the program, so you can just tell us what inspired you to participate during the program.
Well, I just participate because what is my aim to be a journalist? My aim is to be a journalist, and
really?
Yeah. And if I say me, my aim is to be a journalist, but even to stand in a crowd is my problem. So I try. When Zakaria asked me to do the beauty pageant, I try myself to be there, so that will encourage me more and more to know, so that I will have the confidence to stand in a gathering and speak. As it's my aim is to be a journalist.
So your aim is to be a journalist, and then you participate for the beauty pageant. Do you want to be a journalist or you want to be a model?
I want to be a journalist.
You want to be a model? Yes, sir. You can tell us.
Yeah, well, I don't have much to say again because I have already said what I wanted to say. But the only thing, the challenge I have for especially the government, is to have in our budget, in our school budget, for such programs to be catered. They should be given their share because it's very important. Our kids need to know their culture, and this cannot go in the absence of money. And then students now, they are not paying anything Government say we should not collect any money from any student. So for that being the case, I am appealing to the government and the authorities in concern to have a share of such programs in our school budgets. When this is done, then I believe this type of program.
Was it the first time?
Yes, this is the first. This is the first type of program in our school. So, and you see how it was. It was very successful, to be honest. So I believe if we have a share in the budget of the school, I think next time it will be better than this time, I believe. So that is the only thing I have to say.
Yes, coming back to you again, and what advice do you have for the younger students, for your juniors, and for your seniors?
Well, the advice that I have is that let us not neglect our culture, because like with culture you will know where you are from, things that you need to do and things that you need not to do. And to know where you are from is very important. Yeah. And then to tell them that is that we should stop engaging ourselves in this. Now we can take that as a habit, which is tribalism. This one is demanding well, I'm not going to talk to the person because I am a fuller well. But then with culture, well, from what I observe after the cultural show, the Mandinkas, the Wolofs, the Jolas, they came, start asking. So I never knew that Fullers, their bread used to dress up like this. We started asking each other question. They started knowing my culture and then I started knowing their culture. Well, which I would say is very important. Because, well, culture, we all know it's important to our lives. Yeah, it's very important. So the advice that I will tell them is to go back home, ask our grandparents about their culture, to know it and not just following this Western life. Because I can see our culture, the way we dress, well, I can see it's more comfortable and it's more nice than when we follow the life of the Western. Yeah, that's what I have for me.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bias. We will end the program here, but before that, we have to thank our cameraman. He did great. From the electoral house to here, it's so hectic. And then this is what we have for you.